Okay, ready to dive into something a little different?
Let's hear it.
Waste management careers.
Okay. Not usually what comes to mind when you think dream job, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
But that's why we're tackling it.
I like it. Busting those preconceptions.
When you think trash,
Yeah.
it's easy to, well, picture just that, crash. But I think you're going to be surprised by what we found.
All right, I'm intrigued.
So we did a deep dive into all the research, all the expert opinions out there.
Really dug through the data, so to speak.
Uh-huh. Yeah, literally tons of it. And we are so excited to share what we found, especially about the careers in this field.
I think a lot of people would be surprised it's not just about garbage anymore, is it?
Not at all.
Yeah.
It's really at the forefront of a lot of things. Sustainability, for one.
Oh, absolutely. And tech is a huge part of it now, too. You wouldn't
Right.
believe some of the advancements.
Right. And we're even seeing, like, marketing roles popping up.
Oh, yeah, totally. It makes sense, though, right? Companies need to show how they're being sustainable. It's all connected. Yeah.
Exactly. Okay, so first, let's just address the elephant in the room.
The smelly elephant.
Uh-huh. Pretty much. That whole image of waste management being all about dirty work.
It's funny because we were just talking about this sophisticated tech.
I know. But that stereotype is seriously outdated. Like, we talked to Matt Cochin.
Oh, the founder of Smart Rubbish Removal Sydney.
Yeah. And he really stressed how important and how complex this industry has become.
He's not wrong. And the growth of the market really proves that point.
Oh, for sure. By 2027, it's projected to hit something like $740 billion.
Globally, yeah. That's massive. Definitely not just a small niche sector anymore.
Right. And that's not just from population growth or anything. Sustainability is driving a lot of this demand. So we're not just talking about collecting trash and dumping it anymore.
Oh, no, no, no. This is about reducing waste, reusing it, recycling.
And that's where all that cool tech comes in.
Robots, AI, high-tech sorting machines that are mind-blowing.
Even sorting, which you'd think is super basic, is getting revolutionized.
I mean, think about AI that can analyze an image and know instantly if something is recyclable or trash.
And where it needs to go, the whole process. It's incredible.
Technology is changing, even the things we think of as traditional waste management tasks. It's really fascinating to see.
Okay, so we've busted some myths and shown that this industry is way more dynamic than people might think.
Yeah, I think we made a good start on that.
But what does it actually look like to work in this field? What kinds of careers are out there?
Oh, let's get into that. I bet you'll be surprised by the range of options. I bet when you think waste management careers, you picture garbage trucks.
You're not wrong.
And the people working at landfills, maybe.
Yeah, those are definitely the images that come to mind.
Yeah, and they are a big part of it, of course.
But I'm guessing there's more to the story.
Oh, for sure. Like we were saying, the industry is changing, so the careers are changing too.
Okay, so what else is out there?
We're seeing a ton of specialized roles popping up, like waste auditing, for one.
Interesting. So that's what, like making sure things are being disposed of properly?
Yeah, it can be part of it. Or like analyzing a company's waste stream.
To see how to reduce it, I'd imagine.
It's exactly. And then there's recycling operations management, which is pretty much what it sounds like.
Makes sense. So overseeing those big sorting facilities.
Yep. And then, this one might surprise you. Sustainability marketing.
Now that I did not expect. What even is that?
Well, think about it. All these companies, they want to be seen as eco-friendly.
Right, it's good PR.
Exactly. So they need people who know how to make that happen,
Yeah.
develop strategies,
So like communicating their green initiatives to customers.
That's a big part of it. It can involve things like branding, PR campaigns, all sorts of stuff.
Wow, so you could literally have a marketing career focused on sustainability.
And waste management, in a way. It's all connected.
That's pretty cool. I mean, this is starting to sound like a real career path for people who care about the environment.
Oh, absolutely. And the job growth backs it up. Yeah, I was looking at the Bureau of Labor Statistics.
Okay, that's the legit stuff.
And they're predicting something like a 12% increase in environmental specialist jobs over the next decade.
12%, that's huge. Way above average, right?
Oh, yeah. Waste management is part of that category, by the way.
So not only is it good for the planet, it's good for your job security too.
It seems that way. So
Yeah.
I bet you're thinking, okay, this sounds great, but what do I actually need to get into this?
You read my mind. Like, what skills? What education?
Well, it's a mix, honestly. You need some technical skills, of course.
Yeah, you can't just jump into managing a recycling plant without some knowledge.
Haha, right. Like understanding the science behind waste management is super important.
So background in environmental science would be helpful.
Definitely. Engineering could be good too. Even chemistry.
Because you got to know what stuff is hazardous and all that.
Yep. And then as you get into more management roles, you need things like logistics skills.
Oh, so that stuff about moving things around efficiently.
Exactly. And project management, being organized, meeting deadlines.
That makes sense, especially if you're running a whole facility.
Right. And also being comfortable with data analysis. A lot of that in waste management these days.
To track everything, see where it's going, that kind of thing.
Yep. Optimizing the whole system. But honestly, something Matt really emphasized
Yeah.
was communication. Can't underestimate that.
Makes sense. You're working with all sorts of people.
Oh, yeah. Customers, your team, government agencies.
So being able to explain stuff clearly is crucial.
Especially when it comes to things like regulations, you know.
You got to make sure everyone's on the same page.
Totally. And then all those other soft skills come in too. Teamwork, problem solving.
Being adaptable.
Huge one. Things change in this industry all the time. But anyway, back to education.
Do you have to have like a specialized degree to get into this field?
Not always. It definitely can help.
Sure, a bachelor's in environmental science or something.
Something like that. Gives you good foundation.
But what if you don't have that?
Well, there are other options. Apprenticeships are pretty common in this industry.
Oh, cool. So you can learn while you're working.
Yep. And there are vocational programs, on-the-job training. It's not all about the fancy degrees.
So you're saying you don't need to be, like, drowning in student loans to get started.
Nope, not at all.
That's good to know. What about certifications? Do those help?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Those can give you a real leg up.
Any ones you'd recommend looking into?
Well, Matt mentioned the Australian Certificate for VEET in Waste Management.
Okay, and what does that cover?
All sorts of things. Waste legislation, regulations.
So, like, the legal side of things?
Exactly. But also practical skills, like how to operate machinery.
Oh, wow. So hands-on stuff, too.
Yep. Even things like managing hazardous materials. It's pretty comprehensive.
Sounds like it. Okay, so we've talked about all these different career paths and the skills you need.
And how it's not all about, just picking up trash.
Right, but let's be real, some people are still going to be hesitant.
It's not exactly the most glamorous field, I guess.
Yeah, it doesn't have that same, like, cool factor as some other jobs.
True. But that's where I think we need to shift our thinking a bit.
Okay, how so?
Matt talked about this. He said there's this deep satisfaction that comes with the work.
Like knowing you're making a difference.
Yeah, a tangible difference. For the environment, for your community.
It's not just a job, it's like you're part of the solution.
Exactly. And honestly, I think that can be way more fulfilling than just chasing some cool job title.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's about more than just, like, your own personal gain.
Totally. It's about helping businesses, communities, everyone become more sustainable.
And in the end, that benefits all of us.
Right. Cleaner planet, healthier future, all that good stuff.
So I guess the question is, could you see yourself doing this?
It's a good question to ask yourself. Could you find fulfillment in helping build that sustainable future?
Through a career in waste management, of all things.
Yeah.
Something to think about.
It really is. This industry, it's got so much potential for people who are willing to, look past those old stereotypes.
Whether you